So, I feel like this is a funny angle, but I like it. You can see my moringa. Let me scoot it back actually. So, I just had a very different encounter with God. And, you know, I always talk about how God comes in many forms and God speaks to people, and God has, in many ways, in my life, and I'm sure in yours, can be so clear and direct. And God has a way of like guiding me so deeply throughout my day that the decisions I make down to what I click on and what shows up on my phone, God has a hand in it. And I had decided to like, I was doing some sort of work, but then like something popped up on my phone, and I have these affirmations, and one of them was, about God, which led me to then like I clicked on it and it resonated, which then I got a notification to look at this post. And so then I looked at this post, and it was a teacher who always pops up at the right time, always when I need something. And she sits very, very, very close to God. And I saw something that they had posted about like doing a testimonial or something like that. And so I did. And it was like that whole day where I just kept thinking like, oh, I need to submit it, because we had until the end of the day. And I love testimonials, and I love sharing my story and my interactions with people, because I believe in paying it forward, and I believe in financial equity. And so I'm always someone to leave a testimonial or tell people about this great service that I had, or like send more people to them, because like I've never like it's just something in my energy. And so I've never really understood when people didn't do it, because it was like, if you received such a gift, why not share it with the world, so then they can feel the same joy and happiness. And so I had it in my mind, and I was like, let me just write a message on the post, so then I hold myself accountable. And I was like, I'll send it today. And then I almost forgot, but then it was like an intense like push from God, like visions, visions, visions. It was like boom, 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 like so intensely. And I was like, okay, God, I hear you. And so then I did the testimonial, and I just shared my truth and all of the miraculous things that have happened in my life. And then I ended up, I didn't realize at first that it was like for a prize. And then I found out that I won the competition, or like like whatever it was. I wouldn't even call it a competition. And then I ended up meeting with this person one on one, and it was such a gift. And they were just channeling so much from God. And I had been praying for answers, and God does this thing. And like when you truly open up to God, like God makes your life so miraculous that it's impossible for you to go astray. Like just in that moment, like I was like, God, I will literally just stand in one place until you tell me where to go next. And I had even felt called to like change my clothes and like all these things. And I was like, I don't know what you're preparing me for, but I will be there when the time comes. And the conversation, it just was wild. Like all of the breakthroughs, everything I needed to know, and it gave me so much clarity. And the reason why I want to share this is because, and why I started this channel, is because God is miraculous when you allow God to be miraculous. Like, I see so many people not allowing God into their life in the capacity that God wants to be there for you. Like, God will literally move through hell and high water to get you to where you're meant to be if you just open up. Like, and now it was like after the call, I just had like a flood of visions in all the moments in my life when God clearly was there by my side. And they had even gently pointed out for me like why sometimes I get very like resistant with certain people, and I always hear the same thought of like, if you get in the way between my connection with God and helping people, I will tear it down. Like, that's literally what comes to my mind. It's like so loud, like a megaphone. And it was this person who actually helped me take this leap to move abroad. And hearing their story over and over again, and how everybody thought that they were crazy and they were doing the wrong thing, and they didn't have a ton of money, and on paper it didn't make sense, but God just put me in front of them over and over again and made it so clear. And I was like, I trust. I trust. And today was such a gift. And so whatever your connections are to spirit, just allow God to move through your life like God has never moved through your life. Just let God do it. Just let God be there for you for once in your life. Like, that was something that was so hard for me in the beginning of this journey of like, hey God, I don't know what it feels like to have someone be there for me. I've had people be there sometimes, and then I've had people take from me most of the time. But like, I was like, I'm gonna fight for this connection. Like, you're truly there for me. And with time, God was like, hey, I'm still here. Hey, I'm still here. Even if you don't think I'm there, hey, I'm gonna send you this person. And then it started making me think about my music, because I am a musician, and the miraculous things that have happened around my music, and why I just keep creating for fun. Because like, God tells me to, and I enjoy doing it. But I remember when I was younger, there was this band. Most of you know I've channeled it before, Relient K. Like, sometimes I'll deliver messages when I hear it. And when I discovered them, I went to this rock concert, and my cousin and I thought that they're just a regular band. We had no idea who they were, and we loved them so much. And that day, I'd actually met earlier that day. Like, I was very magnetic even as a child, and I didn't know. No, I wasn't even a child, I was a teen. I had met like Bert from The Used, and then I was wandering around. The concert place afterwards. It was in Marysville, if anybody had been there. It's super hot. And then I met the lead singer of Relient K, and then some of the other band members came out, and I was like, this is the coolest day of my whole life. And so then I went to the record store, and I was like, excuse me, like, I can't find the music for Relient K. And then they're like, oh, that's because you're in the wrong section. They're under like Christian rock or something like that. And I was like, come again. Back then, because I was young and I didn't know, and I was like, what do you mean? What am I doing? And so there was always these moments of like God showing up, or like that pull was always there, like the connection was always there. And even my friends here, someone else just asked me to go to church, to a different church, and it's like after a while you just allow steps to happen, and you will always be okay. But I wanted to really share this encounter with God because there's so much fast energy right now. Like, don't forget about your connection to God. Don't forget about it. And today's, session was perfectly timed, and I'm just so grateful because it like gave me permission to take this next big leap in my life and remember that God's got my back. God's got my back. And so it's just like, come on, God. you know? And comment below, like, how has God been working in your life recently? What does it look like for you? I've always been one who has believed in miracles, and I always will be. And just don't give up. That's like, I feel like I don't know what else to say, but that's all I'm really hearing is like, don't give up and trust in your faith. Something a pastor once told me, like, she was great. She was awesome. She watched Lord of the Rings. She did all the fun things, and she was like, whenever I'm having a tough day or whenever I start to question my connection with God, she was like, I put on my worship music and I just move forward. And she's like, I am at so much peace after that. And so don't forget to allow God into every aspect of your life, like not just in your prayer. I mean, I do it with food, like I do it with different coaches. I do it with my dance, my music, and I just say, God, just guide me. Like, where are we going today? What am I gonna do outside that door? What should I wear today? Who should I follow? I know I kind of joke about it, but when you really sit in that energy, your connection to God becomes the most sacred thing in the whole wide world. And yeah, just never forget about it. Today was a beautiful reminder of that. And just, I'm so grateful that God answered my prayers. God answered my prayers. And I know that God is always going to continue to answer my prayers. God always answers prayers. Don't forget about it. Well, that's it, my friends. I'll talk to you later.